There we go, we are in. Hi guys, what's up? Today was supposed to be Mega Random Monday, but as you can probably tell, this is definitely not Mega Random. This is Arabia, and that is because as much as pre-planning as I could put into this possible, there was nobody willing to play Mega Random apart from one person, and that person is Eddie. So all of you people on the last video saying Eddie's cool, Eddie likes to do things differently, you are definitely right. He is willing to do stuff differently and just, you know, a little bit out of the ordinary, but whatever. We've got a 4v4. It's a live one, and I don't know how balanced these teams are going to be, but we'll have a look who we've actually got. The reason we're spectating Lavi here in the top of the map is because she was hosting. She's playing in teal as the Vikings, and for her teammates, well, over to the right, there is Zuppy in yellow playing as the Persians. And let's see, down to the south of Lavi and sort of to the left of Zuppy, we've got Spaden. He's playing as the Spanish, apparently in RVK now, I actually didn't realise that. And their final teammate, Pike, down here in the very south of the map, playing as the Koreans in green. So their team is sort of to the east and sort of south and east of this map. And the other team, well, in purple, we've got Genghis Khan playing as the Goths, aka Eddie. He's actually playing in this game, but under one of his many alternative accounts. And over to the left, Nori Igo Eat, aka Eighth Wonder, playing as the Byzantines. Really don't have any words for him at the moment. Up to his north in grey is Scartha. I actually don't know who this is, just some random, I think, playing as the Aztecs. And up to their north, finally, last but not least, in orange is Iridium playing as the Celts. So it's not even mirrored, I don't think. I definitely don't recall reading out a Viking player on the other team. It is full random, which I am actually pretty glad of, to be honest with you. It does make for pretty interesting games because it's not like both teams are going to be doing the same thing. They're both going to be slightly different, and they're both going to have different combinations of units and all of that jazz. So that is great. Just Lotus there in the north, Lavi stealing a couple of those sheep from Iridium. That's pretty cheeky, and I don't know where. There we go. Okay, I thought Iridium was gonna like notice that those sheep had gone and go try and chase after them, but it just seems like they're gonna build a house and bring that boar back in. So yeah, let's see. Just go over the civs once more. We've got Vikings, Persians, Spanish, and Koreans for the team on the right here, which is actually not too bad. They're pocket players, Persians and Spanish. That's decent. They are going to be able to make stables once they get up to the Castle Age and have a reasonable eco as well. But I imagine, obviously, with two Knight Civs in the pocket position, you're going to be pretty happy with that as a team. However, on the flank with Koreans and Vikings, well, not the best, to be honest with you. Obviously, Vikings, not great on land maps. I mean, they do have a good economy, but their real bonuses kind of come into play on water, which is pretty fair enough. They are the Vikings, after all. Also, though, Koreans, not the best. I guess they're all right. They're going to be going for archers, of course, but we'll see what happens. It looks like Pike here actually has a pretty nice map, so he should be able to wall up pretty easily, regardless of this front gold. For the other team, well, Goths on flank, that's not too bad, actually. Going to be able to do a nice drush if they decide to. And worth noting, we have got a little bit of a pause here at the same time. Byzantines in pocket. Potential for knights again, that's good. Aztecs in the other pocket, which is a bit meh. I mean, really, the Aztecs kind of come into their own in the Imperial Age. They're going to be able to do, you know, a reasonable kind of play during the Castle Age, but it's most likely that they're going to go for archers. Or, I suppose, depending on how good their economy is and how much their flanks need support, they could go for eagles, but it is much more expensive to go with that straight off the bat, and it's kind of, I don't know, they're not really that strong, I guess, especially against knights. They really do make better raiding units. So, for the Aztec player here, I think probably best off to go with crossbows in the Castle Age and support the pocket position players, sorry, the flank players. But I don't know, the options there for the Eagles, I just think kind of much better to go with them in the Imperial Age anyway. And, of course, Celts as well on the other flank position, and that's alright. I mean, obviously, could go scouts into archers, but
Yes.
I think probably going to aim to get a reasonable castle time here anyway, because Celts will want to go for knights a little bit later on. So I think really pretty evenly mixed civs actually. Once they get into the Imperial Age, they both have a really good siege civ, obviously Koreans and Celts. And they also have good knight civs as well. Obviously, Byzantines have Paladin available, Spanish and the Persians as well. So I think should be a pretty good game actually, and the Imperial Age sort of game will be quite interesting to see because they will be fairly balanced. I think obviously having an Aztec player, definitely want to get that raiding in very quickly in this situation, but for the other team, they just need to make sure they're walled up, and if they're going for Paladins, well, they should be in a good position against the Eagles anyway. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So we're going to see some drushing coming up, though, in the north. They just had a barracks go up there. The Viking player going to drush up here. Looks like Eddie down in the south going to drush as well as the Goths. And we've got Northern Pike doing a drush too with the Koreans here. Though his gold is in terrible position. I was going to say he could actually wall up in front of this gold to try and keep it safe, but he's actually walling behind it, which means that this gold could get taken. I mean, he is up against Eddie here, and Eddie, pretty damn strong player, so for Pike in this position, he has got to be careful not to lose this gold. Fortunately for him, he does have a couple of golds in the back, so he could always retreat to them later on and hope that his pocket players can kind of keep him safe for long enough to take them without getting raided by knights or something of that sort. So we can see that the drush coming in, and Pike should be able to prepare in plenty of time. Up in the north, Lavi's just doing some scouting. Iridium also going to be drushing as the Celts there. So we've got a Viking, well, two drushes simultaneously in the top and bottom of the map. And the pocket players, of course, just going to go up with a fast castle here. But we'll see who does the most damage. Eddie coming in now. No scout to be seen, though. He's left his scout behind so that he could lure those deer in. Gonna lose his entire army here, which was actually very messy. Almost taking down a villager. But Eddie's going to get chased down by that scout cavalry. And I highly doubt he's really going to make much of this drush at all. Pike in a great position after that. And Eddie just retreating away. Pike didn't lose a single militia even, and he's probably just going to hit straight back at Eddie. Could go to his wood, could go to his berries as well, and that is really quite bad news for him. Eddie's not going to be able to take these deer on the front either now, so that is very, very bad for him. Lavi, well, I'm not really seeing a whole lot up here. I did see some... I thought I saw some units, but I'm not sure where they've gone. Maybe they are dead. I have no clue. You can see the drush from Iridium in the front here, but maybe Lavi didn't actually make any units. No, she must have done, because there's no gold left. So, well, up in the top. So I'm assuming that she must have lost her drush. Yeah, and there we go. It's down there. It looks like she managed to get Iridium's scout, but aside from that, not a huge amount of damage done, I don't think. The 4 militia from Iridium now just moving towards Spaden by the looks of it. Could be going to Zuppy too, but obviously the pocket players now are really going to be very unprepared for a drush, and if they do get drushed, it's really going to kind of slow them down quite a lot. It will affect them, especially if they lose a villager that's building one of these feudal age buildings, for instance, and it's not very nice. So we'll keep an eye on these villagers, militia from Iridium. Northern Pike, well, Pike just trying to get in here, do some damage to Eddie's wood, but Eddie with a quick wall, nicely done indeed. Iridium coming in, and the pocket players now just getting up to the feudal age. Let's see if Iridium can do any damage here. Lavi should have told her teammates that she's walled up, which she is indeed. Nice map for her, actually. Easy to wall that. And, yeah, forcing the villager fight here. And, of course, going to delay the food income of Zuppy here, too, which could, again, delay the castle time. But, fortunately for Zuppy, he's already up, and stable is down. So, we're going to see knights coming out very quickly from him. once he gets to the castle age. A lot of pauses in this game. That's one problem with watching live 4v4s. There's a lot of people needing to take toilet breaks, or whatever it is they keep running away from their PCs to do. Interestingly here, actually, I don't know how Iridium has so many deer, but he's got 2 deer patches here, and he's actually taken a second mill on that, so he's going to have so much food coming in thanks to that. But interestingly enough, Larvae with a faster castle feudal time even, due to walling up and not making so many militia, and actually adding in archery range now. Looks like though, because of that full wall, she will indeed do a fast castle, and it would be pretty advisable for Iridium to do the same, but he's lacking by the looks of it a little bit of food at the moment, though should be able to get that back with those deer. Pretty good harassment over at Zuppy's base, not managing to pick any villagers yet it seems, but now upgrading to man-at-arms, this could be pretty nasty. And if he does break down this palisade, that could be very bad for Zuppy's villagers. Going to get stuck in here though. May possibly get a villager, but doing a lot of damage to sort of eco here regardless. A couple of these men-at-arms very low and could get picked off. Larvae's got her scout here as well. So, I don't know. This is kind of nice because it will delay Zuppy a little bit. It will delay his economy a bit, and obviously he's going to be spamming out knights, which is going to be very powerful at this stage of the game. So I think this is really good from Iridium. It will slow down his castle time slightly. If we have a look, Larvae will already be up now, already about 20% of the way, and Iridium hasn't clicked up just yet, but doing a good bit of eco damage to Zuppy here, and Zuppy just about to hit castle. We'll start pumping out a few knights, but very little food in the bank at the moment, and we'll really want to start hammering out that those knight production. We're getting up to that knight production. Should be able to pick a scout as well. Very, very close indeed. Good micro by him. Just getting out of the way of the TC. And picking off units or delaying villagers wherever he can. Knight is out though, so that's going to get cleaned up very quickly indeed. And everybody now up to the castle age or in the castle age. We'll see what happens over here. The Drush from Pike over at 8th Wonder's base, but 8th Wonder, of course, going to wall himself in. Stable out for him. That's very expected, but what is the Aztec player doing at the moment? Just booming, and I think that's a great thing for him to be doing right now. As long as his flank players don't die, 4 TC boom with a pretty fast Imperial time should be enough for the Aztec player to really sort of push out with the Elite Eagles once they get upgraded. So Spaden now. Gonna try and do damage to Eddie where he can with his knights. Eddie just about to hit up to the castle age. He's on about 80%. Quite a few spears back at home to defend. 8th Wonder gonna bring some knights over to help him out as well, thankfully. But Eddie could lose a couple of villagers if he's not careful, which is never ideal, but so far pretty untouched actually. Fairly walled up, quite untouched, and looks like he is going to add a few knights in. You'd be pretty mad not to. Goth's reasonable going with a knight rush. It's not too bad at all. Larvae and Zuppy now up in the north. Going to try and do damage to Iridium. He's going to be the last one up to the castle age. In fact, he has just gone up, but he was the slowest to do so, I believe. And with +2 attack... Oh, no +2 attack yet from Larvae, but with crossbow done, should be able to pick these archers off. A couple of knights getting in there as well, and those archers probably going to go down. They could really delay this town centre as well. Nicely done. That TC probably not going to go up, and Iridium looks like he's having a pretty bad time up here. A quick wall now into this woodpile, but obviously with crossbows here as well, going to get right in there and do a lot of damage to these villagers. So Iridium's economy really nasty, and the big downside here is that the Aztec player not making any military yet because they are going for a 4 TC boom. They can't do that and make military as well, so Iridium is going to get put down very quickly here if no help comes his way. And also, if these guys don't manage to get into his base, they're going to head straight over to Grey here and do a lot of damage to his eco as well. So that is really not a great start for the guys up in the north. At the same time, Eddie was under a bit of pressure there. Doesn't look like, though, he's lost a great deal. We've got archers from Northern Pike, crossbows expected there due to, of course, being Koreans. Crossbows coming out and waiting really for Spaden to back him up a lot. Spaden only with the 2 knights here at the moment, and they are very outnumbered by 8th Wonder and Eddie. So looks like these guys are going to get forced right back, and that's pretty bad for them. So it's kind of a victory in the north and it's kind of loss in the south, but I'm a little bit concerned because if they can really hurt the Aztec player, then it's going to be kind of nasty in the late game, because the Aztec player kind of needs that speed. They need the very fast Elite Eagle rush to really do a huge amount of damage, and then after that they kind of peter off a little bit, I feel. So 8th Wonder now looking to get some raiding done. Pike just defending with crossbows. He's up to 3 TCs, and I think everybody's going to be about up to 3 TCs now. No one's gone really all out into, you know, 2 or 3 stables. Although saying that, actually, oh no, never mind. I take it back. I was going to say, no, Lavi's just on 1, but she is on 2. Doing a good amount of damage to Iridium though. Iridium on 2 as well. Actually, no space really to put down a 3rd TC at the moment. Kind of wanted to TC that main gold. You saw that TC there, but got forced away. So maybe a potential for a TC back here. He is walled over on this right side, and that could work out pretty well for him. But yeah, really just going to echo what I said before about the Aztec player here. 4 TC is pretty risky, but it's like kind of a risk you have to take, because they could start making crossbows and defend that pocket player, but then if they're slow up to the Imperial Age for whatever reason, their Elite Eagle Warrior is really going to be a little bit less effective, which is really not what they want. They need that speed element of surprise kind of thing going on. Spaden's just going up to 4 TC now, and he's going to keep his eco nice and safe. 3 stables as well, so going to be really pumping out a lot of knights here, and it's probably a good job, because Pike, well, he needs to start pumping out knights, because Pike is getting a lot of damage to his eco here. 8th Wonder getting in with some knights and doing a good amount of damage there, with a couple of villagers going down. Pike's kind of base, his eco looks very small on the map, and not too bad though. I mean, he is up to 3 TCs, so if he can get maybe a 4th, he should be alright. He is going with crossbow production, which is arguably better than knights in some situations, because you can keep villager production up as well much more easily. But it looks like 8th Wonder slowing down knight production slightly now, as he's adding in a 4th TC as well. Still only on the 1 stable, so just going to slow things down slightly there.
Yes.
And these guys just seemingly unable to agree when to start the game or not. I think they should just keep the game going and not pause. Iridium Space looking pretty down at the moment. He's lost a lot of villagers. In fact, we should have a look at the villager count right here. We can see Iridium is on 35. After that, it's Eddie on 51 and Lavi on 51. The leader in terms of villagers at the moment is Spaden, actually, as he's gone up to that 4th TC. In fact, he's adding a 5th by the looks of it. He is going to do a huge boom here with the Spanish. And Spanish can be really nice if you mix in a lot of Conquistadors as well. Great raiding unit to have, as well as Paladin later on. That would be a really good kind of strategy for their team to go with. Eddie getting out of Mangonel already, and I think possibly a little bit unnecessary. He's defending against knights, so not really going to be that strong with a Mangonel here. Spaden has got bloodlines and +1 defense as well, so able to tank quite a lot of this TC fire because it doesn't have fletching. So Spaden getting in there, getting a quick Mangonel pick, and probably going to get out to his hill. But the point remains that I think Eddie perhaps wanting to push out, but playing quite defensively, considering that Pike is kind of sitting in his base at the moment with those crossbows. The Mangonel mostly aimed, I imagine, at trying to take down those crossbows. So a little bit of a waste there from Eddie. He doesn't have many knights here either, relying on 8th Wonder now to back him up a little bit, coming in with some camels and some knights as well. But if Pike has enough crossbows here, and if Spaden goes in at the same time, they might actually do a lot of damage. Eddie, though, Man, leaving this mangonel behind. Oh dear, gonna get that one taken down, and it's a lot of resources to lose, losing a mangonel like that. So pretty bad stuff from him there, surprisingly. A little bit of a fight on this hill. Obviously the TC going to help out a lot here, but with crossbows in the mix as well, the camel's going to go down very quickly, and they're probably going to push 8th Wonder back. Eddie not really with a huge military at this moment in time, and with only one stable as well, unable to really get the units pumping out. Spaden on the 3 stables now, continually queuing them up, and this is really good for his team. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage with that. And that is what they need to do. That early game damage, delay the Imperial Age as much as you can, and get up to the Imperial Age and really just make a roll. Eco damage, so crucial. Looks like, finally, there we go, we've got the Aztec player now starting to pump out a few Eagle Warriors. In fact, Elite Eagle Warriors, they're up. I didn't even notice. There we go. Scartha, the Aztec player, is up to the Imperial Age. Managed to withstand the raiding for long enough, it seems. No fletching, though. And a really bad economy at this moment in time. A lot of dead villagers here, actually. Kind of got distracted down in the south. There's always so much going on in a team game. It's very difficult to keep up. But Scartha's economy is the worst at the moment. He's only got 52 villagers. And for an Aztec player who is in the Imperial Age with Elite Eagle Warrior, you're going to want a lot more than 52 villagers. You're going to want to at least double that. So the Aztec player here kind of needs to get his move on, and it was risky. It was very risky, just doing a 4 TC boom without any defense at all, and it really has allowed the team on the right of the map to kind of get ahead in terms of eco here and do a lot of damage. So that is very bad news indeed. Is Spaden up to the Imperial Age yet? Well, no, he's not. He's going for the all-out Knights, which is actually very strong, providing you don't get out-teched. So Spaden and Pike just going to gang up on 8th Wonder, it seems. Should be able to pick off that monk as well. And 8th Wonder does have a lot of knights here, but upgrades pretty heavily in favour of Spaden at the moment, due to the fact he has got bloodlines. And he's backed up by Pike as well. Let's just see who's also going up to the Imperial Age. We've got Pike going up to the Imperial Age now, and starting to mass a few more archery ranges, so we'll see Arbalest coming out from him fairly soon. Zuppy is up to the Imperial Age, and he is spamming Cavalier across the map straight into the kind of heart of these guys' base, because if they can control this area, they're going to be able to deny them any trade as well, which is a real huge deal. Who else is up to the Imperial Age? 8th Wonder is Imperial now, and I imagine he will be upgrading Cavalier. There it is on 50%. So whilst Spaden did make a lot of knights there and did do quite a bit of damage to Eddie's eco, 8th Wonder is up to the Imperial Age, and he will be upgrading Cavalier. They will be done in just a moment, which could turn things around pretty rapidly actually, because he has got a very large number of knights on the field, and he's also mixing in camels as well. Not sure if he's going to upgrade heavy camel anytime soon, but he doesn't really have a great deal of resources at the moment. But Cavalier is done, +4 defense is done, and wow, Spaden managing to take down that TC by the looks of it with knights alone. Eddie having a very bad day here. Thankfully, 8th Wonder's coming in to help him out though, but that TC going to go down, and Spaden doing so much damage with knights alone. And I think now probably going to be up to the Imperial Age as well. Lavi's up to the Imperial Age, but with Vikings they can only really make Arbalest, so not really much option available there. But Iridium is stuck inside of his TCs, and still castle as well, so unable to really do a whole lot, to be honest with you. He is the Celts, so should really be in with knights here, but instead researching pikemen and making a few archers every now and then as well. Really looking quite bad up in the north for these guys. But I don't know, kind of pushing back in the south here with 8th Wonder now being into the Imperial Age. Eddie as well. Looks like he's Imperial. Let's find out. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. He's also up now at long last. Well, I say at long last. He's not exactly the last one to go up. But very little military production, and kind of just very defensive, trying to get his eco back on track. In fact, building pikemen as well. So victories and losses in all areas. Spaden finally just about to go Imperial now, and I think he might have more military. Never mind, actually I take that back. He is getting dwarfed by Zuppy's military at this stage. Zuppy on 48 Cavalier by the looks of it at this moment in time. That is a lot. And 8th Wonder starting to get up there as well with 35 Cavalier out, and well, Cavalier and Camels out on the field. Upgrades really coming in, but Pike, my god, with that +3 attack there, doing so much damage to these units, you wouldn't believe it. But archers like that, when they're all kind of backed into a corner, they just do so much damage. And would you believe that he did that much damage to 8th Wonder there? 8th Wonder still just kind of patrolling around. In fact, I don't know if that's bugged or what, but Pike doing so much damage here, and 8th Wonder just kind of like unable to really even attack him. That's brilliant. So Iridium saying it's pretty GG over there. It is fairly GG for them. There's not a huge amount of Eagle Warriors out for Grey, and against Cavalier with full upgrades and a bunch of Arbalest as well, it will make it very, very difficult. Trying to get some siege out now to deal with damage to his eco and take these TCs down. And of course, Zuppy will be upgrading Paladin as soon as he can afford it as well. In fact, it's on 20%, so in the north, these guys are going to get really, really pushed back. Saying that though, Grey managing to mass up a reasonable amount of Eagles here. He's got 54 Elite Eagle Warriors compared to the 53 Cavalier that Zuppy has. And in fact, Zuppy's losing quite a bit considering his placement here. It's quite bad. Raiding now though from 8th Wonder. Byzantines just going all into cavalry. Looks like it. Cavalier, Hussar done, and of course some camels as well for good measure. And what? Are you kidding me? Pike is still here with these these crossbow. They are still there and they're still killing 8th Wonder. I don't know how he's not noticed this. Is he actually that blind? I don't know, it's really bugged, it's very odd, but either way, Iridium now resigning because, well, his base is just absolutely wrecked at this moment in time. 8th Wonder trying to do some raiding down here, but Spain's already got the Cavalier upgrade done as well, and +4 defense, +2 attack. It should be able to defend that quite nicely. Has got a castle in defense as well. And yeah, I think that's going to say GG now. Yep, that's it. Everyone's going to resign. And I think really that game was won in the north here with Lavi and Zuppy doing a lot of damage to Iridium's eco very early on. And of course with the Aztec player doing a 4 TC boom, it's a little bit difficult for them to really help out in the Castle Age. So they managed to do a lot of damage there, and I think Zuppy pretty untouched the entire game as well. So his economy was in top notch, able to keep that spam up, and that's really the important thing. Spain did quite nicely as well, going with a lot of TCs there, but Spanish, you kind of need to do that. They're quite an expensive civilization. And with so many stables, keeping that night production on as well, they kind of really put Eddie down very quickly. And finally as well, Pike switching into hand cannons, completely missed that one, but again, against Goths, hand cannons going to be a great choice. There's no chance Huskars and Pikemen are going to do a huge amount of damage to them. So there we go, that was our little 4v4 on Arabia.